Hello StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between MaNa and Elazer on Lerilak Crest. In the bottom left side of the map we have the red Protoss player, it is MaNa, representing Team Liquid. And in the top right side of the map we have the orange Zerg player, it is Elazer, representing True Esport. So again, pretty solid ZVP for you today. MaNa, I know, is a fan favorite here on the channel. Elazer is kind of a lesser known, but man, his Zerg is super duper solid. We've seen him do well in both ZVP and ZVT in the channel here in the last month or so. So just hats off to him. Hope he continues to improve, continues to show us what Zerg is all about here on the channel. Again, a quick plug for my book. I know a few of you have already purchased it. Hope some of you have had time to read it already. It's not the super longest book in the world, but again, it is about 80,000 to 90,000 words, which is fantastic, in my estimation anyway. I realize that kind of sounded like bragging there, but again, there's a link in the description. You can read it using your Kindle, also the Kindle app on iOS and Android, and just check it out if you wouldn't mind. Buy it if you have the means and the interest, and give me an honest review on Amazon. That really helps me out too, and I appreciate the support and all the support you give me by watching my videos here on YouTube every single day of the week. Alright, so Elazer going hatch first against Protoss. Fairly standard stuff. Whoa, just kidding. Double hatch here. Hatch into hatch before pool, before extractor. Elazer might be getting a little bit greedy here. And look at this, a 2-gate opening here with the Cyber Core for Elazer. So Elazer, it looks like he's going either for a double stalker or a double adept opening. If he's able to scout this out, if MaNa is able to see what's going on, he should hurry up. Try to get as many units at Elazer's front door as soon as possible, because that spawning pool is not even halfway complete yet. So there's the Cybernetics core, and as soon as that finishes, Elazer can start up work on what he's planning on doing. He has 2 assimilators here, which tells me it's probably going to be Adept, which can be very good against Protoss, or against Zerg rather, as we saw in the finals at DreamHack. I'm not going to spoil anything, but man, there was an Adept Phoenix play. Super good by Showtime. Can't wait until I get those replays and show them to you about how that worked out. So, yep, going to be double adept from MaNa. Going to head right on up here, and the probe does scout everything. He did see this base. Did he see this base? He saw the base. Knows exactly what's going on here. So right now, worker count 24 to 22. MaNa's in the lead, but as soon as these pop, Elazer's going to be able to do a lot of work and actually get a huge macro lead up on MaNa very, very soon. So I don't know. I mean, that's not a Nexus. I don't know what MaNa's doing. Is he just one-basing this? He's trying to all-in Elazer? I mean, it could work. It could. I've seen crazier things on my channel, but I just don't know. So here come the Adepts. 1 and 2 walking right on up. The probe coming back here too. There are a couple Lings out, which is nice, but man, slow Lings are the darn near worst units in the game. Production more Lings coming up here, and a Stargate follow-up by MaNa. So I think he might just go for some Oracle play here. Queen's pretty good against the Adepts, except they don't do a lot of damage to them. As you can see, stab, 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 just barely took out its shields. Takes so much time. Good psionic transfer. Does get canceled as he sees the Queen there, and the Adepts are forced to go home. Oh no, what a disaster for MaNa. Oh, so he is taking an expansion now, but man, it's so late here at the 3-minute mark. Meanwhile, Elazer lost absolutely nothing to these Adepts. No kills on them whatsoever. He better have a really solid follow-up, because this is not looking good at all for our friend. He has an Oracle on the way that has not been scouted. He's in the far distance here. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. A Ling managed to get in here and scout it perfectly. So, Elazer playing this pretty much as well as you can play with the 3-hatch opening here. Didn't lose any drones. Didn't lose any Lings. Actually, did he lose some Lings? Yeah, he lost some Lings, including the one down here that got surrounded by probes. But man, he is up to 32 to 29 harvesters, making 6 workers at a time right now. The Oracle's coming up, but you know what? There's that Queen combination, Queen combined with Spore Crawler play that I am such a huge fan of. So good against Oracles. The Spore Crawler hitting away while the Queen adds additional DPS to it. Yes, you might get 1 or 2 worker kills, but it's not going to be 5 or 6 like you really need in order for this Oracle to make sense and be cost effective. 3rd Nexus on the way for MaNa, so that's pretty quick after that second popped up. So trying to make up lost time, make up lost ground here. Like I said, the Oracle getting stabbed away by both of these anti-air devices. Oracle might be used for Revelation just to get some scouting on down so that he knows what's going on inside this base. Actually, she knows. Didn't we decide Oracles are female based on their sound in-game? I think so. Oracle tries to sneak on in here. There's not a Queen here, which helps a little bit. 1 worker does go down. The Oracle forced to back on out. Great positioning on that Spore Crawler. It's not a Whore Crawler. I know some of you guys were a fan of that when I said that the other day, but it's definitely a Spore Crawler. Roach Warren on the way in response to the robotics facility coming up. I like the Immortals are possible to come out of that based on the fact that they really crush roaches. What is this queen play? Sniping down. They get the Oracle. Revelation tossed down. These queens are hoofing it, man. They're hoofing it across the entire map. These Lings knocking down a probe just to make sure that a MaNa doesn't know what's coming. But guess what? MaNa knows what's coming here. So he's going to go ahead and try to get a wall off with gateways that's going to be very useful against these queens that are coming so darn slow. Move speed off creep 1.31. Just another queen coming out here too. More queens in production, more Lings, more roaches. It looks like Elazer's going for a bit of an all-in. Off of 3 bases, which sounds weird, I know, but I mean, this is a lot of queens, so we'll have to see how well they do. In preparation, there are a lot of sentries, some adepts, immortals getting pumped out too. I love the immortal play. Lings really trying to knock down these rocks without losing too many of their fellow brethren, and the queens are almost here. Almost here. Ravagers in production by Elazer. That's going to be a massive help. Throwing down that Crocodile on the other side of the wall. Going to be a big deal. These Lings trying to knock down the rocks. Here comes the Photon Overcharge up here. Getting focused down is this Pylon. Cannon doing some damage too. A second Photon Overcharge does come up. One Pylon dies. The other one taking a lot of damage here too. Crocobile's landing and the Pylon does fall. Sentries trying to use their DPS. Immortal trying to crush down everything that it can. Does take out a couple of roaches there. 4 kills already here. Great force fields on display by MaNa as well, keeping a lot of the units out. But Lings are now inside the base, getting a full surround on these sentries. Got to keep the sentries alive. Must keep the sentries alive. Cannons trying to kill as many Lings as possible. And yes, they do keep the sentries alive here. This Immortal doing work, man. 8 kills on that guy already. Elazer doesn't want to. He's trying to make it work here. Once again, Lings sneaking on up. They take out 1 sentry. They get another one too, and a third one. But the Immortals are going to be what it's going to take in order for MaNa to win this game and hold right now. These are unpowered gateways. The Stalkers trying to snipe down the Ravagers to the best of their ability, as best as Protostly possible. The Queens here, again, just absolutely refusing to die. No kills? Pretty much, I guess that one has 4, which is nice. They're really there to tank damage, throw down transfuses, and throw some fear into MaNa's eyes. A good Ling run by here, forcing a full pullout of the probes at that third base. Finally, the Queens are getting focused down by the Immortals and these Stalkers, and the final Queen is dead. Bunch of Ling shenanigans happening here. Good warping of a Zealot at the last second, keeping that base alive. Lings once again inside this base. The probes forced to fight for their lives. Zealots and Stalkers cleaning up too, and MaNa is alive. MaNa lives. Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely incredible hold there. Units killed, 94 by MaNa. Holy shamoly. Resources lost, 4,500 by Elazer, 2,800 by MaNa. Worker count is 60 to 46. So Elazer still making drones on the back of that attack that didn't go as well as he expected. Didn't kill his opponent, but still, he's going to be just fine. 4th base. Now up here too, a macro hatch coming up for Elazer, floating quite a bit of money there. I guess he was doing a ton of micro down below. Average APM of 400 right now. MaNa playing at about 300 on average too. Just very, very quick play. That's what happens though when there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of force fields, a lot of corrosive biles, a lot of transfuses happening here. And MaNa, is he going to go counterattack? I love the Immortals in this situation. You know, Elazer is going to be fairly roach heavy and actually going for a Spire here. Oh boy. So if Elazer gets a bunch of mutas out, he's saving up his money too. Oh, here we go. As soon as that Spire pops, we're going to see about 14 or 15 mutas. There is available. Is there available larva? Yep, 13 available larva. That's going to be 13 mutas simultaneously for Elazer. And there's the Spire ready. Pop. There it goes. And there are 14 mutas. All right, so Elazer needs to kill this base before those 14 mutas pop out. Because as soon as they do, all this is going to die. Stalker count not high enough. Immortal's doing fairly well. Not even getting a cancel there. Was Elazer though? That's a big deal. If refinery, nope, not a refinery. Extractor, forcing a cancel on all that static defense. Here comes Elazer. Oh, Elazer, he's trying to get his mutas on out. 17 mutas in production. Here they come. Guardian shield up, negating a lot of that damage here too. Trying to kill what they can. Trying to kill a lot of the drones, but the mutas starting to fly over top here. Guardian shield again, negating a lot of that damage, but there are so many mutas here. The Stalker count not as high as it needs to be to deal with this thing. The Immortals trying to focus down that lair, and they do get the lair. They get the lair. The Queens stabbing away here to the Immortals, slowly getting whittled down from above. From below, they are finally all gone, and it's 97 to 70 total supply in favor of Elazer. Here comes that muta count. Big stinking problem right now for MaNa. 18 mutas in the sky right now. This single Phoenix trying to micro to the best of its ability and take down this entire mutaflock. It can do it. It can do it with near perfect micro, but man, it takes so much work. And the Phoenix count continuing to pop up here to Phoenix here. The mutas are going to lay waste to that third base, though, which is a huge problem. The Phoenix, or the probes, forced to run away, forced to get the heck on out of there. Phoenix count looking all right, sniping down a muta, which is great. Photon overcharge coming up here, too. Don't get too greedy with these mutas, man. That's a lot of photon overcharge and a lot of stalkers. Lings, though, on top of the mutas, or the stalkers, too. Stalker count now completely gone. Mothership core still available for 2 seconds before it gets completely sniped down here. The Phoenix trying to kill as many of these mutas as they are able. The cannons might actually finish here. And the Phoenix count, once again, not doing too poorly against these mutas and forcing the mutas back. This space is still up with no static defense to speak of. Double pumping the Phoenix now is MaNa making another Stargate here. He needs a lot of Phoenix to deal with this, taking down one muta, another muta, but a lot of dead probes here. 63 to 30 total harvesters in favor of Elazer. Yes, he lost the space, but it has been replaced as of this very second. This Phoenix ball looking fairly impressive and does manage to chase Elazer away. 109 to 54 total supply here. How is MaNa going to be able to come back here? He's making 3 Phoenix at a time. He's continuing to make probes, 3 probes at a time, but it's 4 base right now for Elazer. This base is up and running. This base now up and running, happily mining from all of these different bases. 7 Hydras in production for Elazer. He knows how to deal with the Phoenix ball, and one of the answers is going to be Hydras. Phoenix pretty good in support, but man, they need some ground units too to deal with it. Deal with the stuff on the ground. So we'll see if he continues to produce anything here. He is very low on money. He's down 129 to 67 total supply. That muta tech switch was humongous for Elazer. Yes, he lost 2 bases, but having 19 mutas in the air was enough to chase away that very immortal heavy army and send MaNa all the way back home. Meanwhile, killing 36 workers. Woo, 36 workers killed compared to 20 drones killed by MaNa. It's 65 to 47. Harvesters are right on now. Creep spread continuing for Elazer. This one is on cooldown, which shows he is keeping up on that. And in production, we just see more and more Hydras. That's a lot of Hydralisks. 16 mutas and 14 Hydras with 8 more on the way, getting muscular augments, getting +1 missile attack and +1 ground carapace. Not bothering necessarily to upgrade his mutas, which is fine. But man, he took out quite a few mutas there with this flock of Phoenix. The problem is Phoenix can't win it on your own. As I've said before, there's a Templar Archives coming up, and maybe Archons might be a good idea. Maybe some Storm would be good too, but Elazer might not let that happen. Here he comes with his mutas, with his Hydras, sniping down something there, and he's going to lead with the mutas, maybe try to attack into this third base while attacking at the front door with the Hydras. Either way, he's going to split up his units just a little bit here. Finally going to knock down these rocks, I think. Enough DPS with these Hydras, especially considering that with +1/+1, and there it is, Lurker Den on the way here too. I'm not sure if Elazer's going to need it though. This is a lot of units, a lot of Hydras with that muscular augments doing a ton of damage to the Phoenix there. Pretty good force fields on display there too. Guardian Shield popping on up. The Adepts trying to kill as many of these Hydras as they can, but they are getting sniped down very easily indeed. Hydras losing their lives, but there are still so many sitting out there, and here they come. All of the sentries are gone. And this is just open season on this third base now. The probes are forced to fight for their lives. The Hydras slowly stutter stepping their way up that ramp and then backing on down. Single Immortal does not do extra damage to Hydras, and when they're outnumbered this much, it doesn't really matter. Sniping that sucker down. This Phoenix count getting very whittled down here as well. They're killing a lot of Phoenix, but no, it's not enough. That's it. A GG from MaNa. MaNa's defeated. Elazer is victorious today. Whew. So again, well played by MaNa, but Elazer just scary, man. Just looking very scary indeed in this ZVP matchup. Tech switch to mutas, massive. Switching up to Hydras as soon as he saw that high Phoenix count, massive as well. Did not allow MaNa the time to get out Disruptors, to get out Archons, to get out Storm, to get out anything that would counter those Hydras. As it stood, he just had Immortals, he had Adepts. Adepts pretty good in large numbers against Hydras because they do that extra damage versus light, but not in that situation where there were just a couple of them. The Hydras were able to overwhelm. In the end, there weren't that many Hydras left, but this base was under complete lockdown. It was 152 to 53 total supply and 69 Harvesters for Elazer compared to 37. So not super surprising that MaNa tapped out. So that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.